Hey everybody, Ken Plume here with another edition of Just a Few Things, the show where I have a very special guest on to discuss their six favorite, most cherished, important, special objects in their personal collections. And we'll have a little conversation about those things, why they chose them, and just them in general. And my guest for this episode is someone who is no stranger to the things I've done before, a producer extraordinaire, a comedian and presenter in his own right. Impresario. I'm going to go with impresario. You're an impresario.
Hmm.
Patrick
Hmm.
Cotnoir. Welcome to Just a Few Things.
Now, I did notice that I got producer extraordinaire, but not performer or whatever the other two were extraordinaire.
Listen, I don't want to have other people who you've worked with feel threatened.
Sure.
I
Sure.
know, I know how touchy it can be,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
anyone should have an outside perception of you, anything more than they would like to present
Yeah.
as
I just
your.
wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure you knew that it was noticed.
I knew it was noticed. I knew
Yeah.
before I said it.
Yeah.
I fully intended it to be a point of conversation going forward
Great.
in this discussion.
Great.
So there we go. Where would you rank the hierarchy of what you are, what you've become,
Oh God,
what
I
you're
don't know.
doing?
Yeah. I guess producer's number one. I guess. I don't know. It's such a weird mixed bag of things, you know. But I think
I mean, so many people will put
whenever,
through sort of the catalyst, the pressure
you know,
chamber of the last few years into perhaps roles other than what they had been on or intended
sure.
to be. So
Yeah, that's a great point. I guess producer would be number one, but I usually leave it up to other people to decide for me, which is
I know it's
something
fun to do that,
I
isn't
need
it?
to work on with my therapist. Yeah.
This is how people perceive me, and I don't like that, or I wish they'd perceive, but I'm not going to correct them on it by giving
Yeah.
examples of how they should perceive me.
As long as they're happy, that's all that matters.
That's probably going to be an issue that your therapist definitely wants to talk to you about.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Do you want me just to send the episode to them as well?
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Okay,
send the link direct.
just want to make sure. Well, they sent some talking points that we should discuss
Oh, good.
as
Good,
well.
good, good.
So let's talk a little bit because we've done a few. You've been on Force 5, which is the Star
Hmm.
Wars version essentially of this show, where you shared your
Hmm.
five favorite Star Wars objects in your collection.
Hmm.
You've also been on Open Chat, where we just had
Hmm.
conversations. You've also just
Hmm.
been on random live streams that I've done, where
Yeah.
I did crayon pictures long into the night from prompts that you delivered.
Yeah. I think we were looking at bounce houses on eBay, maybe bounce houses and wax figures.
But you didn't buy either,
No,
did you? Well, you
I
found
think
a
I
Bounce
sent,
Millennium Falcon.
yeah, and I think I sent a let's see, I'm gonna go look on eBay for something right now. I sent an offer, but I don't think I won it. I
If
think
I,
the
if I
offer,
remember
it was
correctly, we kind of lowballed.
sure, of course, of course.
I think we offered what, like $25 for a bounce house
Yeah,
just to see if
yeah,
they'd
yeah, yeah.
respond.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm looking at these wax figures now. They want 15,000. I'm just not gonna do that.
But they haven't
You
sold.
know, I agree. I agree. I'll find a good one and send. Here we go. Oh no. Slimer, life size, only $679, which honestly is not that bad.
And that's life size, so that's what, about 3.5, 4 feet tall?
Probably that big, maybe?
Yeah, so about 4 feet and
Yeah, something like
large
that.
and
Yeah.
not light. So
No.
that would be a shipping issue as well.
I think it said free shipping. Let's find this again. Hang on.
Can you do
Free
in-person
shipping.
pickup? Can you just
Great
make a
question.
road trip out of it?
Let's see where it's from. Miami. I'm not going to
Listen,
Miami.
Patrick, hear me out. We
Yeah.
do we do the wax figure road trip where we get a traveler van, and the whole
Uh-huh.
goal is to travel the country filling it up with wax figures
Uh-huh.
through
Not a
pickup
bad idea.
auctions.
It's not a bad idea.
Can we fill the van with the budget that
God.
we've allotted?
Which is what?
Listen,
$50,000?
I know there are very awful wax figures of Laurel and Hardy at the Laurel and Hardy Museum in Harlem, Georgia, that we should go pick up just to take them out of public view. So if we can start there, we can make a round
Look,
trip.
I'm down for anything. So
Listen, you've done the first documentary.
Yeah,
you've been a part of that. You need to do more documentaries now.
that's a
This
great
needs
point.
to be your thing.
That's a great point.
And you always need a gimmick. So Wax Van is going to be the thing that we do.
Uh-huh. Sure,
At
I'm
a
in.
certain point, we're going to have to make value judgments because the van will
Mm,
be filling up, and we'll go. You
yeah.
know what? We're only so much through the trip. We've only got
And
one
you're
spot
like,
left.
yeah. And you're like, is this Angelina Jolie wax figure really worth $15,900? And we have to go to Delano, Minnesota. You
Is
know?
this Angela Lansbury wax
Man,
figure
15,000? I'm in for 15,000.
during our stop in Maine? Do
Uh-huh.
we get it? Do we do it? And then, there are going to be people that are approaching us with their wax
Yeah.
figures just to
Yeah.
offload them.
We heard you guys are making the trip. We'd like to be a part of the
My
documentary. I
grandfather
get it.
has a wax figure in the attic. Can you come pick it up?
Oh, sure. I thought you were saying your grandfather. And I
No.
was going to say you didn't lead with that. That feels like the first thing you say.
Yeah, well, it was very odd, the wax museum that he had. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Guillermo del Toro has figures that he doesn't
Mm.
want anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
You can
maybe one
you
got
can
knocked
only
over.
have you can only have so many life-size London After Midnight figures, you know? I imagine that's his entire
When you're
house.
looking for perfection,
Sure.
you gotta try to buy.
Yes. I will say I did find that company again who has all of those figures and the inflatables and the everything. So this could be a fun part of this discussion too, is how much for a commercial trampoline, dodgeball, inflatable ball pit? $40,000? Because that's what they want.
But is it negotiable? Is it best offer? Is best offer on there?
It appears to only be buy it now. So,
Why
oh
have
no,
you?
make an offer. Make an offer. Here we go. I'll offer $100.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear by the time we're done recording.
Great.
Let's
Great.
see how
I'm
on the
in.
ball they are about
Oh
getting back to
boy.
us.
Uh-huh. I will try.
Next year, you're bringing a bounce house to
Yeah.
Edinburgh.
Oh, sure. If someone will pay for me to go to Edinburgh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he had a massive success. Speaking of your producerial
Sure.
efforts, last year, Edinburgh. So this is by the time we're recording this, it's Edinburgh season again going on right now. The
A lot of
festival in
people are there.
Scotland. A lot of people are
Yeah.
there. You're not there,
No,
but you were
famously.
there and you did the marathon of
We were there.
doing and producing shows
Yeah.
for a solid month.
Yeah, I think we did 31 shows in 27 days or something like that. Some
So, in
crazy number.
hindsight, what was that experience like? How
Uh,
would you
for me,
characterize it?
if I had a great time. I had a lot of fun. I think it was a lot, and I think it was overwhelming. And trying to do that many shows is it can be fun, but it can also be very monotonous. I would love to do it again. I think if we did it again, we would have to do something different, like only do the talk show maybe every day, the George Lucas talk show, instead of doing a play like we were doing also, just because I think it's so much less setup and so much less prep and stress and all that.
Well, and then on
But
top of that, Connor also doing the improv.
yeah, yeah. Well, the improv was after Griffin left, so those were not overlapping. But Connor did a one-man improv show, for those who don't know, as George Lucas. So it was George Lucas doing an improv show by himself, and it was very silly. But it was, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We had a good time. I think it costs so much money that it's hard to justify another trip for three people to go out there. But and paying for ad space and paying for publicists and everything like that. But I think if the opportunity presented itself again, um, we would hopefully find a way to make it work. And I just made an offer for $200, $19 of tax, and we'll see if this gets back to me. It's 1,150 square feet, which is almost twice the size of my apartment. No, yeah, a little bit
But
less than
it's
twice
an
the size.
inflatable, so you
It's an
can
inflatable.
fill
So
you can fill it to fit the space.
yes, and it could fit in my kitchen cabinet, I assume. That's the hope.
I mean, if there's anyone that I can believe can build a show around getting a bounce house for
I'm
200
in.
bucks,
I'm ready.
it's you. I think
Yeah.
that's next year's Oscar special.
Sure.
Is you do it from within the bounce house.
Yeah. I think that's good. I mean, look, last time they had like they have like a full indoor playground set for $125,000. It's 2,000 square feet. I think if I
You
just,
don't need a full gymboree though. You don't need that
no,
yet.
it
Yet.
would be fun. It would be fun.
Can you do a
I'm
little
I'm
black
kind of
box
obsessed.
gymboree space? Is there
I don't know. I also like the VR like walking simulator thing, where you put the headset on and you can walk and the floor moves underneath you in the direction that you're walking. It's only
that's so,
$32,000.
that's so much easier.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see if these people get back to me.
They had their chance before. This is their time to
Sure,
make good on
sure. I
lost
hope so.
opportunity they had the last time.
I hope so.
We're gonna talk about because I want to get rolling on your objects,
Yeah, let's
but
do
we're
it.
gonna we're gonna weave in some other conversation. But I do
Sure,
want to go to your first selection. Now this is all encompassing. This is your entire collection. So these are the things that in this moment you
sure.
feel are important and special to you.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of my quote unquote collection is stored currently, so it's a little difficult to get out. But I was like, the important things are probably the things that are out and about. So I
That
was
you
looking around at
prioritized.
yeah, yeah, that were on my shelves versus like an autograph or a poster or something like that. It's like easier to get these because they're out all the time. And of course, the first thing that I looked at and I said, well, yeah, obviously that's a good one, is the NECA Alf. The NECA Alf figure, he looks great.
I mean, we did not talk about this beforehand,
Uh huh.
but on my desk,
Of course. It's a great figure.
because how can you not?
He looks so good. The contrast on your screen is much better than mine, but
Well, you talk about it,
truly,
I'll hold it.
okay, great. I mean, look, his mouth opens and closes. His points of articulation are fantastic. Some of the stuff that come with him, I like. Some of the other objects, but I don't really put them out with him except for the cat in the sandwich.
So he's
But
not wearing the shirt. You,
he's
you
not
didn't
wearing
put
the
him in the
shirt.
shirt.
I don't look. If these figures have real cloth on it, I'm not really a fan, and I kind of avoid that because I never think it looks good.
You didn't need to make
Um,
him into the Burger King puppets, is what you're saying,
no, no, thank you. I'm good.
or the
Uh,
Pizza Hut puppets.
sure, sure, sure. What's the difference? But he looks great, and the likeness is spot on, I think. And any good Alf merch is merch I want. You know,
So how much is that the totality of your Alf merchandise? How much have you gotten?
it's a great question. Do I have any other Alf merch? I have a Connor Ratliff bought me a poster that's like a Marvel superhero poster from the 80s, and they're called, I don't remember what they were called. It's like an X-Men parody, and it's all of the weird uh comics that Marvel was putting out in the 80s, like Alf and like Rocky and Bullwinkle, and just
All
like
of their like
weird,
Star Comics line
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
the ones that
characters,
were
like
basically like IP that they had
right,
had
like Wally
used
the
under.
Wizard, and
Yes, yes. But Alf is front and center for that. So I do have that piece of Alf merch. That might be it. Alf, a concept that I like a lot, a show that I have not watched a lot of, though. You
that's
know,
that's fine.
I think so too. I
Yeah,
watched a lot of Alf's hit talk show. Is that what it was called?
yeah, the TV Land one.
The TV Land one with Ed McMahon. I think I probably watched all of that because there was.
You realize it sounds like a fever dream.
I
You
understand. I'm gonna pull up the guest list on this because it's genuinely
also,
wild.
if there's any sort of conversation to be had about what to do with TV sidekicks
Mm-hmm.
and the need to take care of them in their elder
Mm-hmm.
years, it's
Mm-hmm.
Ed McMahon being left to do the Alf Talk show
Yeah. I
after
just.
nearly 40 years
Yeah.
working with Johnny Carson.
I just want to go through the guest list because there's only 7 episodes of this show. Okay.
And then you were
Premieres
robbed.
July 7th, 2004. So a month after I graduate sixth grade. Okay.
Now you just make me feel old, but go on.
The guests for the premiere are Drew Carey and Dennis Franz with cameos by Joan Rivers and Henry Winkler.
So Drew
I
Carey's
mean,
show is still on at that point, right? Or it just ended?
I think it just ended, but whose line would still be on? Right? Let's see when Drew Carey ended. Oh no, Drew Carey's still on. Drew Carey's about to wrap up. Drew Carey
And it's
ends
overlapping with Who's Line.
September 8th, 2004. Drew Carey ends. I didn't realize it was on that long. Dennis Franz, NYPD Blue, still going strong. coming up on its last season. He's shown his little butt on
But
TV.
Fran's still
Everyone
a good get.
freaked out. Still a good get. Free disappearing into the world like he
Everyone
has now.
remembers Beverly Hills Bunts.
Yes, of course. And then Joan and Henry, two TV legends. So that's a good get for a first show. The second show,
You would still have that guest list on the George Lucas Talk Show and be delighted by
oh,
it.
1,000%. If we got Dennis Franz, I would never do an episode again. That would be the only episode of that show we would ever do. Episode 2, the first one is July 7th, 2004. The second episode is November 12th. So they take 5 months off.
And come back for an election special?
I guess. Yeah. So Carrie is out. They know Carrie is out at this point. But they got 2 huge guests, Joe Mantegna and Merv Griffin, along with a cameo from Merv Griffin's trumpeter from the Merv Griffin show, Jack Sheldon.
Sure.
The next week, Bryan Cranston, Leon Redbone.
Cranston, pre-Breaking Bad, Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle era. We're smack in the middle of Malcolm in the Middle because that goes for 2 more seasons. The 4th episode, now this is when things get a little iffy.
Little desperate booking.
We got Tom Arnold, and we have James Nelson and his talking dog. But then in parentheses, it says ventriloquist. So I'm guessing James Nelson is a ventriloquist whose dog is the puppet.
So the dog is not actually talking.
I'm Googling this right now.
Is he still a thing? And is he bookable? Is he best offer?
No. Oh boy. Oh, I found a photo from it. Can I share my screen? Yes, I guess I can't. Oh, no, I can't. Anyways, James Nelson, old at this point. James Nelson has had better days. He was famous in the 50s and 60s. He died in 2019. He did commercials for Nestle with his dog, Farfel the dog.
Oh, Farfel.
I don't know Farfel.
I know of, yes.
Okay.
This was a different era of entertainment.
Yes, absolutely. The next week we get Doris Roberts, great, and Kevin Butler. Now, Kevin Butler does not have a Wikipedia page, and in parentheses it says comic actor.
It's a broad category.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out now. I don't know who Kevin Butler is.
He's watching right now, and this is super
I'm so
awesome.
Sorry, Kevin Butler.
He's reaching out on all the socials.
Yeah.
Check your message requests on Instagram.
I don't know who Kevin Butler is. The next week, now we're back again. Tom Green, Linda Blair, and Jack Sheldon is back. Jack Sheldon is the trumpeter from the Merv Griffin show. But
is Jack Sheldon also Schoolhouse Rock Jack Sheldon? Am I confused?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm just a Bill.
Yes, you're
Jack
right.
Sheldon.
You're right. Yeah. But then in parentheses after Jack Sheldon, it says Kevin Butler again.
Is Kevin Butler playing Jack Sheldon? Do they not actually get Jack Sheldon to reprise?
I don't know. And then on the finale, December 17th, 2004, Eric Roberts and Vincent Pastore.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to both in a way.
But at a certain point, like what episode do you think they knew the end was coming? And they're just booking knowing that...
I have to imagine it's 2 straight weeks of Kevin Butler. I have to imagine they know at that point. But these are also, hang on, these are produced out of order.
So what was the last production order episode?
The last production order was Tom Arnold and James Nelson and his talking dog.
Okay, that now everything makes sense.
Yeah.
And you shuffle that a little bit forward in the running orders so people don't feel
I guess so, yeah.
bad.
Wow.
Watching it.
Wow.
That's why have you never had other than probably there's a lot of problematic things we don't need to discuss. It seemed like Paul Fusco would have been one of your
I'll say this.
potential guests.
I desperately wanted to do Alf's Hit Talk Show as a marathon where we watched all of Alf's Hit Talk Show, and I was told that Paul Fusco was not interested. That's what I was told.
How big is your not interested list at this
It's
point?
not that. It's honestly not that big.
Is it just Paul Fusco?
I'm truly trying. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, it's a little bit nicer than I remember it. Paul isn't doing any promotional appearances at this time, but we will keep you in the mind for the future. That is what I was
So
told.
what I'm hearing is door's still open. It's been a few years since you asked.
We're still open. I think Paul lives in Connecticut. We are doing a New York show in a couple weeks. So is it worth the ask to get Fusco back?
He'll bring Alf.
I mean, will he though? That's a hard ask.
Yeah, he'll bring Alf. He'll refuse to perform it.
That's a hard ask. I don't know how Fusco's doing, you know?
Listen, you can just talk about Alf hosting the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that one year. Just that. Just that, and the comments that he made during it off the cuff. You need to rewatch that.
I do have a signed Fusco photo. I just remembered that.
I have a signed Fusco TV guide cover.
Wow. Huge. Huge. Oh, mine was I wrote him a letter when I was a child. Probably around the time of Alf's Hit Talk Show.
Now, why is that not framed? And set right beside your Alf figure.
I could probably go find it. Do you want me to go find it?
Please.
Okay, hang on, just give me 1 second.
Yes.
You kill some time.
I'm gonna kill all the time. By you know what, I'm gonna do a little plug while people are watching this and remind them that they should go see the things that Patrick's doing. We're gonna talk about this at the end again. We're gonna plug these things. But he's got live reading. Recently did one with the folks from Star Wars Minute of The Phantom Menace, and they're about to do Attack of the Clones. You can go find information for that. Go follow Patrick on his socials, which you should anyway. The George Lucas documentary, I Am George Lucas, is rather remarkable. We're going to talk more about that. And I think Patrick's also got an improv show that he regularly produces that you should also check out. There's just so much. There's so much going on that he does.
I reached into my closet and the first album I pulled out, it was in there.
Because alphabetical?
Alphabetical?
Yeah, I was hoping you'd get that.
Here we go. Yo, Patrick, thanks for being a fan. You have great taste. Ha! Best wishes, Paul Fusco, and your...
Plus
best wishes, your pals, Paul Fusco and Alf. Look at that.
Again, why is that not friend? How many photos are in this binder, and how many binders do you have?
I have a few binders. This was a hobby as a kid, was writing to people. Let's see if I can find anyone else that's interesting.
Now here. I feel I should pull out my Dan Aykroyd photo that I got as a kid.
Oh, sure.
That's just signed "Keep Cool."
Well, if you did that, I of course would pull out my Dan Aykroyd photo that's just signed Dan Aykroyd.
But did you also get an autographed promotional 8x10 from him, unasked for?
Oh, no, I didn't.
From the Nothing But Trouble press kit.
Wow. No, I didn't, and I'm genuinely very jealous. I did, however, get a photo from Karl Rove.
How did he sign it? Did he also sign it, Karl Rove and Alf?
To Patrick Cotnoir, best Karl Rove.
So what was your thinking? What was your criteria in...
I didn't understand politics at that point. I was just like, this guy works in the White House. He's interesting, you know?
He's on TV. So how many awkward photos do you have in your collection?
I mean, I've got Cosby. I've got Spacey. I've got some ones that are tough. I met Spacey when I was a kid.
Where was this at a play? We
went to New York, probably early high school, and he was on Letterman. And we were like waiting for a Broadway show, and we said, "Oh, let's go see who we can see outside of Letterman." And Spacey came over and took a photo with us and everything. I mean, there's some,
and that's in the book?
That's it. It's somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. I mean, look, there's some ones that I was like genuinely Didn't remember there was a Stockard Channing. That's a pretty
So,
good one.
so now, do you remember your process for finding out
Uh,
where to send the letters to?
I don't remember how I did. I feel like there was
Because
probably
this
a
is the
website
internet
that I
age. It's
used.
a little different from when I was sending out. You actually had
Yeah. Yes, that's Carlos Mencia.
what's on his mind now?
Great question. Well, as of then, he said, always laugh.
It's someone else's joke.
Always laugh. I mean, yeah. Yo, Chow, what's up, dog? Hollywood talk. The great Gonzo.
So I have that exact same photo
Great. It's a good
signed,
photo. Yeah,
and
yeah.
and mine was on the set of Muppets from Space.
We get it. We get it. Oh, but then there's a note on the back
But
that
it's
says,
great.
"Hi, Pat."
Let's go back to that Gonzo photo because there's
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
special about that Gonzo photo for you.
Yes. In that I own this shirt. Well,
In
not
that
the specific shirt, but I own
you now own that pattern on a
that
shirt
pattern on a
made
shirt.
for
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Also, there's a note in the back that says, "Hi, Patrick. I'm sorry this took so long to answer. I misfiled your letter and only now just found it. Dave."
Oh, I mean that's definitely the Dave I know that would do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, have you
Let's
worn
see.
that shirt in public yet?
Yeah. 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 I wear it. It's comfortable. It's good. I
Certainly
like
a
it.
benefit if you're going to get a tailor-made shirt.
Sure. To wear it.
Yeah, it'll not be a
Um,
burden.
yes. This one isn't super exciting, but I bet there's. I have a few albums. Let me see if I can find another one with more interesting ones in it, and then we can go back to my items.
Yeah.
I never go through these, so this is.
How many do you think you have? Oh, he's still looking for his albums. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Rest assured. We're going to go through every single one of these albums before this conversation is done. That's my promise to you. Do not hold me to it.
There's probably 5 or 6, is my guess.
Now, are there any ones that are frame worthy that are worth pulling out of for you that are important enough that
Uh,
you because there's obviously you have ones that I'm sure people have passed, like and I feel
yeah,
a connection to those within my collection of stuff like, well, this is now even more important and special than it was when I got it.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely ones that are frame worthy, but I don't know if I would frame them. I have a lot of stuff framed already. There's a fun Jerry Lawler photo. I met Jerry Lawler at New York Comic Con in 2010 or something like that. Um,
Was he asking if you can get him a badge?
he probably very funny. I don't know. There's a bunch of ones in here that you're just like, oh, here's a good photo of me as a child. You ready for this? That's
Oh, that
Patrick
is
and
great.
Bill Clinton.
Why are you dressed like Fred Flintstone?
I don't think I am. It's just a jacket. It's an orange jacket.
It looks like Fred Flintstone. You.
Talk to my parents.
So where was that?
That was in. He did a rally for a guy who was running for governor of Connecticut, who I believe lost. Um, but that was like pretty soon after the stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah. He
In a
was
way where
very
I was,
recently out of office.
yes, yes. Um, not a lot of good ones in here either. Oh,
I mean,
oh,
if you
here's
graduated sixth grade at the time you did, and considering how old you look in that photo, that was probably right after he was out of office.
it was probably 2002, maybe 2001, somewhere around there. It was probably like right out of office. Oh, here's a.
Can you
I
use
would
that
write to a
photo
lot
as
of.
leverage to get him on George Lucas talk show,
Uh,
or as
it's a
one of
good
the
question.
monologists for?
Yeah, here's a postcard. I would write to the Lost cast a lot because I loved Lost.
You're
And
also
this is
part
I'm
of a
going to cover.
documentary that's coming up.
I am also part of a documentary. Here's a Michael Emerson one. Oh shit, you can't see it, but he signed it as Henry Gale, which was the name that they thought his character was called. And I'm like, how many times could he have actually done that? Because they learned his real name pretty quick,
Do you share
you
that
know?
in the documentary?
I don't know if I do. I talked for a long
That's
time, so
that's
I
a great little piece, though. To
yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, look, geez, a lot of lost people. I don't know. It was a very fun hobby.
when did you stop doing it?
Early high school, probably.
Do you know? Did
Yeah.
you just lose interest in it?
No, I think it was just I put the time in, I did the thing, and then I was like, let's move on to something else. And then I moved
Which
to
is a bit of an ethos you've retained.
what?
That sort
Put the
of
time in.
I did a thing. I'm
Yeah,
kind of ready to move on.
yeah. And I think it was it was fun. I had a good time, and now I'm doing something else. So yeah.
Have you gotten autographs from any of the people that you've worked with as a professional?
Uh, it's rare. It's mostly like it's Star Wars people. I'll have them sign like the art books that I have. Uh, those are kind of the only ones. I have a poster that Hamill signed when he did ASSSCAT. And sometimes if people who I booked wrote a book and then I read the book in prep for them doing whatever they were going to do, sometimes I'll have them sign the book just as like a nice remembrance of that show. But that's about it. It's rare. It's rare.
It seems to me that were she still with us, that Carrie
Yeah.
Fisher would have loved doing George Lucas talk show.
Yeah, 100%. I met her right before she passed at New York Comic Con. It was like 2 months before she died. And I almost didn't do it because I was like, $60, that's way too much. And then I like sucked it up and did it. And now I'm very happy that I did.
I
Um,
mean, you never know with how those things
yeah,
will be.
yeah. That just seemed like so much money at the time. And I feel like now con autographs go for so much more
Oh,
that
I'm sure that
she would have been $200 if she was
at
still around, you
least
know? Yeah. Yeah. So I was very happy that I did that. But
you still have the
yeah,
glitter on you.
I got the glitter on the face. I fully got the glitter.
You were anointed.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It was fun. It was worth it. I wish I had done the photo op, but you know,
Yeah, that was another $60.
yeah, another $60 probably. It was too much for me.
So what were
I
you
mean,
doing around that time? So this is 2017.
20 was it? Yeah, I guess
No,
wait, no,
20,
maybe
2016. 2016, because
2016. It was
2017 is
2016.
when her final performance for
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
Jedi was released.
yeah.
So this is
What was
this
I?
is October 2016.
Yeah, so
I was at
I
that New York Comic Con as well.
that
So
had
close.
no idea.
So close.
What was I doing? I don't know. I was probably working on the Gethard show, I'm guessing at that time. I'm trying to remember what I would have been doing then. Let's look at the photos. That's the only way to find out. Um, it doesn't look like I was doing much of anything. I don't know if I had a job at that point. Oh, I was PAing on stuff.
So no money.
No money. No money. In August, I had worked on a movie in upstate New York, and that was about it. It was sort of just bopping around on PA things.
End of
Um,
2016. Pre-election.
yeah.
Hope still alive.
Uh-huh. Everything was going great. Everything was going great.
It's
We
all gonna be
all
fine.
happy.
It's all gonna be workout. It's all gonna be
Uh-huh.
swell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's that time in New York was really weird.
Yes. Yes. But we had no idea.
No, no, that we would have gotten all the photos. We would have gotten all the
Yeah.
interactions if we only had known all the things
Yeah.
that lay ahead of us. But I do know
Uh-huh.
that what definitely lays ahead of us is your next item.
That's true.
That was a treat.
So this item technically is two items, but it's basically the same item. You will understand in a second. Um, I really like the NECA Universal Monsters line.
So this is the second
So
NECA.
this is another NECA. I'm a big NECA guy. I like NECA. I'm very pro NECA. I like the Wolfman. I think that's one of their better ones. But of course, that means you have to buy two figures if you want Larry Talbot. You know.
You
So I've
can't have
got
a Wolfman with no Talbot.
no. If you've got the Lon Chaney Jr. head, you want to show that off. So they are next to each other on my shelf back there. Let's see if you can see the shelf. They're all up there on the top of that shelf right now.
Now,
I
why do we
like
not
them.
have the Abbott and Costello to go with them?
Well, that's my question. Where are they? It feels like an inevitability.
Because they're running out of monsters.
Yes. They just premiered some more at Comic-Con that I'm like kind of mad about. Because they're putting out a black and white Invisible Man, which they had been saying they weren't going to do. And there was like some other stuff where I was like, well, why did I buy the color one if you're just going to do the black and white and you said you weren't gonna? Um, but it does
So you
feel
do have a
like
preference. You do like it to be
I want it to be the
screen
black and white.
accurate.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Pretty much I have all the black and white ones except for Phantom, Nosferatu, and Invisible Man because they said those three were not going to be in black and white,
And now you
and
know they
now they're
lied.
sort of going back on that. But they have what else do they have coming? I mean, over there is Phantom, Mummy, Nosferatu, Invisible Man, Dracula, Creature, Frank's Mrs. Frank, and the Wolfman, and now they've got the other mummy, like the more human Karloff mummy. They've got the London After Midnight guy. They've got a black and white Nosferatu, black and white Invisible Man.
Creature.
Well, the creature's over there, and then they've got Vincent Price coming out, which I sort of count as but he's not black and white, you know.
Yet. He'll be.
Well, I've already pre-ordered.
They've already lied to you once. You
I know,
know.
but then if you hold off on getting it, it's going to cost $200. Once they go out of stock.
Well, if color Vincent Price, you can have him holding a painting.
Yeah.
And just pretend it's a Sears ad.
Oh, sure. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find a use for
Okay.
him. And hot dog. He loves hot dogs too. You can have a hot dog and a painting.
That's true.
And one of his cookbooks.
Uh-huh. I think he comes with a cookbook.
He has to.
I believe he comes with whatever it's called, The Joy of Cooking or whatever, the one that he and his wife put out.
And they have a roller coaster accessory as well.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, NECA's bad for me. NECA's been getting bad for me.
The Sesame Street thing, I'm sure already
they look great.
Funds. Yeah.
They look great.
Bert's a little cross-eyed. They need to
here's what I'll say. He looks better in person, but I think they probably will adjust it. Usually those are like early versions of them. But what I'm trying to think of what else I have the London After Midnight pre-ordered. I have Vincent Price pre-ordered. I will have the Sesame ones. I have the David Naughton and Griffin Dunn American Werewolf 2-pack pre-ordered.
Maybe we can get a Rod Serling.
That'd be fun. I would probably order that.
But they'd release them in color first just to annoy you.
Sure. Well, I'm trying to think of other figures I have. I have all the boss fight Fraggles pre-ordered.
You still haven't gotten them? Any of them yet?
Entertainment Earth's real slow.
I think they must be having some production issues with those.
Do you have them?
All I have is the Doozer. They sent the Doozer over.
Yeah. I'm looking to see right. I mean, it keeps saying.
I mean, honestly, of all, I would love them all. The only one that personally I have like a sort of base minimum would love is Traveling Matt.
Sure. Yeah.
That for me is if I had to have one representation from the entirety of it that I would like, it's just a Traveling Matt.
They keep pushing the estimated to arrive time. Right now it says August. But Entertainment Earth is famous for pushing it a year after you ordered it and when it was said to arrive. So I don't know why I keep using them, but
you're just going to see them in Target and then you're just going to pick them up and
then I'll buy it and I'll cancel it, which is fine. I don't mind. I'm not in any rush to get them, They'll show up when they show up.
Eventually get them.
Yeah. So I love the Universal guys. I think they're great. It truly would be insane if Abbott and Costello don't happen, but feels like it has to.
Yeah. Watch them do the Ritz Brothers first. But in color.
Sure, of course.
Again, just to spite you.
They're gonna make me buy all the goddamn Keystone Cops. I don't want that.
Larry, you get Larry.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get Larry. If you don't get Larry, then you don't have the Keystone Cops.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, we get Max Sennett. Do we get the Max
Sure.
Sennett?
Yeah. 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 All the R gang kids.
Yeah. Louis B.
Yeah.
Mayer. Can we get the mogul set?
Uh-huh.
All the problematic moguls.
Funny. Yeah. Someday.
We
Someday.
don't have a good Marx Brothers figure set,
No. No.
which is surprising to me. I know we have Laurel and Hardy figures that were released years and
Sure.
years
But
ago.
who cares?
Mark Hamill.
Who cares?
Mark
I
Hamill
guess.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really any marks. There's like 12-inch dolls, kind of. But even that, they're not that good.
But not quality figures, even
No.
stylized.
Yeah.
Also, someone give me a 1-to-1 replica of the duck. From what?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I
time.
I just want, and you could change out the secret word. Just have
Uh-huh.
him hanging. I would have just right behind me. At a certain point, he just dropped down in a conversation.
Uh-huh.
That's all I
Now,
want.
what is the green guy behind you wearing the baseball hat?
That is Tibby. He is
Uh-huh.
the mascot for a zine I had in the
Oh,
90s called Tibby's
okay.
Bowl, which was a
Amazing.
Mystery Science Theater reference
Great.
to Tibby the Turtle, which was in one of the Gamera films, which
Great.
Tom Servo sang an ode to. So that is a puppet made by a brilliant puppet maker named James Voital. You might have seen
Oh
some
yeah,
Rob
sure.
Savage stuff and is
Yeah,
producing
yeah, yeah.
wonderful stuff.
Uh-huh.
But that is Tibby the turtle wearing
Amazing.
the short round
Oh,
hat
sure.
with the
Great.
the logo is not on it because it was not sold with the
Yes.
logo. But that was from my nephew's one year. He went his short round and his older brother went as Indiana Jones.
Amazing.
So
Amazing, amazing.
so that's Tibby,
I love it.
the first person who's asked.
Well, you're welcome. I liked, and I also like the Wolfman's little butt. They give him a little butt, and I think that's good. I like that he's sculpted that way.
Now does the Talbot figure have the same butt?
It's the same body, so
Okay, so the transformation doesn't give him anything extra.
no, the transformation is purely feet, hands, head.
Okay.
The body is the same. So
It's nice that the clothes hold up. That'd be expensive for him otherwise.
sure, sure. He is always fully perfectly clothed when he's the Wolfman.
Well,
He's like
the
got the
code
belt
was in
on.
effect by then, so
Sure, sure. The one thing I don't love about the NECA monsters is that basically all of their hands look like this. They're basically all going like this.
they're all
So
in
when you put
poster poses.
yes, but when you put them all next to each other on the shelf, it's like a whole line of guys going like this, and you sort of need to like figure out how to pose them differently just so they can slightly look different. But
Do you ever think maybe they're supposed to be stackable?
no, I've never considered it. I mean, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that works. Okay, I'll work on it.
Well, now you know that you can do a vertical rather than horizontal display for your
It would
figures.
save me so much space.
You're going to be filling that with more stuff.
Yeah,
Have you found your buying has increased or decreased?
increased, no question, increased. No question. I don't have a roommate anymore. It's increased, absolutely.
Well, you got to fill the space.
Starting in COVID was bad for me in that regard. You know, COVID was when I would get stuff in the mail and be like, when did I order Tom Davis's Emmy winning certificate from the Sissy Spacek SNL?
You know,
You know,
pre-COVID, I still had an accessible piano keyboard behind me.
sure, sure, I get it. It's hard. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff in binders like that where I'm like, I truly. Here's a Vincent Price thing I ordered. I ordered an invitation to the James Madison portrait unveiling from the Nixon White House to Vincent Price and wife.
How many canceled checks do you own?
I think just one.
But you do have one in the collection.
I do. It's a Jane Henson. Yeah, I
Canceled
do.
checks, I think, is the threshold. Like
Yeah.
once you pass over that, then you're really committed to
Yeah.
ephemera in any way you can get it.
Yeah. It's just the one. And it was purely because I'm like, you never see Jane Henson stuff go up, you know?
Right.
And it was, I think I got it for like $20 or something. Like it was like pretty cheap overall. Um, it's a problem. It's a
And
problem.
it's not a problem. It's an estate sale that you're building the catalog for.
I told that to someone this week. I said, my estate sale is going to rule. It's going to be amazing. Um,
It's either an estate sale or a dumpster.
yeah.
One of two
Yeah.
options.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Whatever it's got to be, I guess. Mail it all to the Museum of Moving Image, you know?
I mean, that was the one remarkable insight in the Connor documentary.
Yeah.
Was sort of seeing a little inside of Connor's collection
Sure.
and world and what his criteria for picking things up.
And again, that was pre-COVID, and I think everything's different now. I think things have changed. It's gotten worse for all of us. So,
Griffin seems to have taken the biggest turn, though, as far as really leaning into the Watto
sure.
acquisition.
Yeah, but that stopped at a point, you know? He hasn't done a
All the
live
money
stream
started
in,
going to Taco Bell.
he has not done a live stream in 2 years or so. So you haven't seen any new Watto stuff in a while.
And he has owed me one for that
Oh,
amount of time
sure.
and keeps putting no, I'm not.
That's a you. I can't help with that one.
Oh no, and I wouldn't ask. I would not put that
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
You've got to wrangle so much else. You don't need to
Yeah.
have the additional Griffin wrangling as a thing.
Yeah.
So the NECA, we got a twofer for
Yes.
Talbot and his wolf form. So what is your
Yes.
number 4?
I'm gonna pull an audible right here, and I'm gonna switch up what I was gonna use. I was gonna say this is something my friend Dave made me, and this is an O-Behave Kenobi, which is an Austin Powers body and an Obi-Wan Kenobi head.
That's the
But that's not going to be used anymore.
Austin
The
Powers figure.
McFarlane Austin Powers. This is not a figure, but this is let's see if that can. That is a original production sketch from Lost of the failsafe key and hatch. It was auctioned off in when they auctioned off all the Lost stuff. I think that's my number 3.
So do you would you like to share how much you paid for it?
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. I think it was like maybe 2.
You're gonna have to be
Not
more
that
specific than just saying maybe 2.
I think it was maybe 200.
200? Okay.
Yeah, I think so, which I don't think is that
That's
bad.
reasonable for
Absolutely.
an original production sketch that you
Yeah.
know was used in the production.
Yeah. I feel pretty good about it.
Did you share that for the documentary?
I think I told them I had it, but I don't know if I don't think I shared it on screen with them. You know? Trying to fix my lighting here. I don't know why it got funky.
Is the light changing outside?
No, it's when I moved it, it all got weird. There you go. It'll be a little orange. Yeah, no, that was when would that have been? Would that have been pre-COVID? I think so. I think that would have been pre-COVID purchase. There's a lot of stuff like that I have either framed or in a closet that is meaning to be framed someday when I am in a larger space. You know,
I mean,
the problem when you're in a when you're in a 1-bedroom apartment is there's not a ton of space for everything. You know.
Yeah, well, you get creative. Have you started hanging
It's
stuff
true.
on the ceiling yet?
I have not, no, and I do have space that open, but I'm saving it for things. You know.
My last step that I was thinking, because I do have it, as you I'm sure do as well, a ton of posters.
Mm-hmm.
Too many posters to ever have the space
Mm-hmm.
to display.
Yeah.
Was part of me thought, what if I frame them?
Yeah.
And put them as hangings over my bookcases.
Oh, wow.
And open them to get access to the books.
Wow.
But instead, you have the posters as frontage.
Interesting.
Like doors on the.
Yeah.
But I have not crossed that.
Posters have gotten dangerous for me over the last 2 years or so. I bought what do you call it? A portfolio. A like full size, flip the page, put the poster in, flip the page, put the poster in. So I have one of those under my couch and it's basically full and I think it's like 40 sheets or something like that. Which is tough, you know?
What's the cost of
Tough.
getting those commercial poster displays like Kmart would have at the end of an end cap to buy
It's a good
posters?
question. I don't know. I also don't think I have space for something like that,
You
you
don't
know?
want that? You
Like
want
the good
you want to just flip through the posters?
I don't know. I mean, the good thing for this is it's flat, you know? It's flat and it can stay under my couch.
Listen, when
But
you've got your own version of the Acker Mansion,
yeah, sure.
you can have your little poster flipper
Someday.
that people can go
Someday.
through. You can curate it. You can change out the posters that are in there.
Sure. I did just I was at San Diego Comic Con a couple weeks ago and was flipping through a poster, you know, whatever you call it, stall, and I saw a More American Graffiti poster, right? And I said, "Oh, maybe that's like a weird Patrick thing to buy." And then I saw that um, William Stout was there, the illustrator who drew the More American Graffiti poster, and I
Yeah.
said, "Well, I have to buy this now."
Yeah.
And have to have him go sign it. And I was like, I don't think you've ever signed one of these. And he was like, I don't think I have ever signed one of
And
these.
in fact, I
So
refuse.
yes, yes. But it was the most Patrick purchase that could have been done at San Diego Comic Con. But then he didn't charge for to sign it, and I felt bad. So then I spent $200 on a King Kong sketch that he did.
Wait, now that's not is that framed? Are you gonna frame that?
It's not framed yet. It will be framed. Let me go grab it. It's over here. Um, it will be framed. I just haven't had a chance to go.
Also, how brilliant of him. That was his entire plan. If I just give him
Oh,
this, he'll feel
100%.
so guilty.
100%.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful. Um, and it worked. You know, it worked. I felt bad. But I need a specific. I have a wall of sketches, and they're all in the same frame.
Like
So I've got like
sardines?
a. Oh, I've got like a Mac Raining Bart. I've got a Rico Browning who played the creature from the Black Lagoon. I have a sketch that he did of the creature. I
I'd
have
love if it was
a.
just a really crappy stick figure.
I mean, it's not far off. It's not far off. I have a Vincent Price self portrait. So there's a lot of
An eBay purchase?
an eBay purchase, but it's legit. You know, it's a real thing. Um, so I've got a wall of these like sketches that are framed in the same frame. So I
You
need
have
to
a
go to
Jim
Michael's
Henson
to get
Kermit
one.
yet?
Don't I don't have a Henson autograph. It's one of those ones that I've held off on just because the price is so much, and you're sort of waiting for the perfect piece to come through. You know?
I'm happy that was one of my super early
Yeah,
eBay purchases before people really got a sense of what
sure.
they could get out of eBay.
Yeah. What is it on?
It is just on little slip of paper,
Oh, nice. Yeah,
signed,
yeah,
just colored markers.
yeah. Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, you got to find the right one and the right thing that it's on. I was going after one that was on it was an Art of the Muppets touring exhibit poster that was kind of cool. But then it just got too rich for my blood. You
well,
know,
I mean, everyone's looking now, so and
sure,
they know what's out
sure,
there, and they know the worth of those things. So, of the posters you have, if you had the space,
yeah.
what are the ones that instantly come to mind? Of I
Um,
as soon as I had the space, I'd put those up.
yeah, I've got a Muppet movie one that's signed by like 15 people. That one will go up. I've got a Raiders, an Italian Drew Struzan Raiders one that is sort of making. I consider sending it to conventions and sending it for signings different than asking people for autographs, you know? So I've got this Raiders one that is like making the rounds right now, getting filled up with people who worked on it. That one would probably go up. That's like the one that I'm saving the space for. Um, I have a cool 2001 one that has Keir Delay and oh my god, what's his name? The special effects guy, Douglas Trumbull, and the guy who played the lead monkey in it.
Right.
They've signed that one. I'm sort of waiting on Gary Lockwood, the last astronaut, and then if that ever happens, then it would go. But I just don't have
Surely he's
space for all
doing
these
Trek
things.
conventions.
He's
We can
not
get it.
really. He's not really. He I saw him at a Comic-Con one time, but he wasn't announced that he was going to be there, and I was genuinely so mad about it because I didn't bring the thing. Uh, but someday.
Someone you
So
know knows
those are
him.
probably the good ones. But then I've also got like a really cool real life one, and I've got a cool Black Sunday one with the blimp going over the football stadium, and there's like a lot of a cool Capricorn one. um, my mom's worked with this woman whose father died, and when he died, she was going through his stuff, and he had a bunch of '70s movie posters and lobby cards. And she was like, "I think Patrick would like these," so I just got like this lot of like old movie posters and lobby cards. I got like a full set of Alien ones and a full set of like high anxiety ones. I have a cool high anxiety poster. Um, but
Signed
again,
by
this is
Mel. Have
like
you gotten your Mel
not
signature?
signed by Mel. Mel is on the Muppet movie one, but I don't have Mel on the high anxiety one.
So who's on
Um,
the Muppet movie one?
Muppet movie one has Mel, Elliot Gould, Paul Williams, Kenny Asher, Steve Whitmire, Callista Hendrickson, um, Ed Christie, Raleigh Cruson, John Lovelady. There's a few more that I can't remember right now, but those are the ones that are
So
popping to mind.
you still can get Frank. You can still get
I
Dave,
would like to get Frank, Dave, Carol Kane, um,
Steve Martin,
Brian, Steve Martin. There's like a few people that
or
if it
possible.
happened, it
Still
would be nice.
possible.
Yeah. That's why I haven't really done anything. It's just under my couch. You know,
Uh,
we'll
for
see.
now. For now.
For now, we'll
It
see.
definitely needs to be framed at some point.
It will, yeah, it will be at some point, but not when I'm in a place that all the walls are
I
taken
know
up by a 7 foot tall Ewok poster.
you got rather big bookcases to
That's
hang
true.
those posters on.
That is true.
Just slap them right on the front.
Uh huh.
You go
Uh
down the
huh.
road that I still haven't.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So what is your number three item on your
Well,
list?
this would be number 4.
Or we're going up or we're going down. I don't know. We're counting down to or we're building out of. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Sideshow.
The sideshow Lou Zealand bust. I love him so much. I think he looks great. I think he looks better than a lot of them. Um, I wish
Most
he
of the
was
sideshow ones were pretty good
pretty
sculpts.
good. There's a few that are wonky, but like I have 4 because they're the ones that I can get for under $200 basically. And I have Link, I have Lou, I have Crazy Harry, and I have Beauregard, which are honestly like kind of a good 4 for me. If I'm gonna have 4, those are the ones that I'm like,
No Scooter.
no Scooter. Scooter's expensive.
I have every single one of those
Believe that.
sent to me by Sideshow at the time. Otherwise, I would
Sure,
not have every one of those.
sure. But they were
They're
fairly cheap at the time.
they were not selling at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's not like
But they
they
were like
blew
$30
through.
or something, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, and that was $30
Um,
in
no, I know.
old times
I
money.
know.
That's
I know.
that was like $150.
I'm trying to see
Uh,
who's cheap right now. I don't think there's many that are though.
and they
Yeah,
were
it's
in
always
large production runs.
yeah.
I think they were
It's
maybe 1,000, 1,500, something like that.
sure. Beauregard and Bow are both they're right now at $51. But the other ones like there's a Kermit for 300, a Ralph for 500, and those are pretty much the only ones that are up there.
Also, just incredibly fragile. I
Yeah,
mean,
which I'm very nervous
when you're
about.
looking at
When
that
I
Kermit, that is just
yeah,
that's a breaking
I have
city.
them museum puttied to my bookshelf just
Yeah,
so
because
they
you're
won't.
also in an earthquake area, so
Yes, yeah. Yeah. So just making sure, but who knows? You know.
I mean, I
Um,
always dreamed of unboxing them all, having a nice little display of
hmm
them all set up in a nice rack.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Has
them,
not
but
happened. Maybe at some
no.
point I'll pull down. We'll do a stream where I just pull all of them out.
There you
We
go.
take a look at all of them.
And then you put them
We
back
also
in.
go through all of the Palisades figures that I have.
Well, those are all in my closet too, where it's just I just don't have space for them. I have the pigs in space set up, but those are basically the only ones that I have out.
but not the backstage or the kitchen. Or
They're in my closet.
there's too much space needed for all of these things.
Yeah, yeah. Once those Sesame ones come out and the Fraggle ones come out, I think maybe I will switch some stuff up and
You know,
readjust
if
what
George
is here.
Lucas
But
really cared, he just had an
yeah,
entire wing of the museum that's just
mm,
for collectors to show
yeah,
off their collections
I would love it.
with the space they don't have to do at home.
I mean, that's basically what Museum of the Moving Images in Queens. If I brought a few boxes to them, I feel like I could probably get them up.
the,
You know?
the Cotnoir collection.
Yeah. Give me a wing. You guys got space.
Oh, geez, finally, good. We don't have to fill it. We can just do a light show.
Yeah.
Maybe show some old episodes of Fish and have a
uh,
talk about it, of course.
yes. But I don't know. I like those statues and I
So,
just
what would be the
don't
first one you got if you had the ability to do so? The ones you're missing.
um great question. The Statler and Waldorf ones would probably be the ones I would like. Let me look at the other ones.
I
I
remember
mean, I've always
the Electric Mayhem being really nice, like the really
yeah,
nice
but they don't
Dr.
have
Teeth.
all of them. There's no Floyd, you know? There's no
I mean,
That's the only one that's missing is
the
Floyd.
problem with so much of those products at the time is that the lines were never finished. That the
Yeah.
Palisades, everything just
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, I think Statler and Waldorf would probably be the two that I would want the most. Also, they're decent size. They're like fairly big,
And
you
if I
know?
remember correctly, this was at the time the Science Show was partnered with them, and all those sculpts were by Weta
Mm-hmm.
for the Muppet
Mm-hmm.
busts.
Yeah. Which is so weird. It's such a weird combination. But
But
then
you
there's
can tell
that.
the love of the characters in it. Like I remember at the time they also had I'm pretty sure it was Sideshow had the Simpsons line of
Uh-huh.
busts.
I don't remember those.
Oh, look up, they have my absolute favorite Krusty the Clown
Oh.
piece of merchandise. The Krusty the Clown bust has the best Krusty pose of him with his dangling cigarette, the most disaffected, disinterested,
Huh.
over it Krusty.
Yeah. These are small though.
Yeah, well, they're about
Because
the same size as the Muppet ones.
they have a picture of it next to Scooter, and Scooter's like the smallest one, I feel like, and they're a third of the size of the Scooter
I'm
one.
looking up. Yeah, no, I can see maybe half. There might be half
Yeah.
size of it.
Yeah.
The Mr. Burns is also nice. I have the Mr.
Yeah.
Burns up there and the Krusty up
The
on the
Krusty
shelf.
one is nice. I do like the
But the
Krusty one.
Krusty just perfect. If you're gonna a perfect capture
Yeah.
of Krusty, it's that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
What a weird time for merchandise. The early 2000s.
Early 2000s, and
So
now
many
they're
companies just cranking out
and now
unbelievable amounts of product for dirt cheap compared to what
yes,
the cost for that stuff would be now.
and now I can just go Google and look at Michael Crawford's review of the week for all of these and be like, these are beautiful photos. Thank you so much, Michael.
It was MWC Toys.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Know it well.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that was a lot of, oh, I got to request that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
out? Yeah.
Yeah,
I got to
yeah,
go
yeah.
find that.
They're good. Wonder where
Uh,
Michael is. What's Michael up to?
he's been putting some stuff with the new Star Trek figures,
Oh,
the
interesting.
6 scale figures. He's still doing
Yeah,
stuff, not to the same rate that he was dropping reviews
sure.
before.
Oh wow, he really is still updating this. This is
Uh-huh.
crazy.
With nothing else updated about the site as far as
Wow. Good for him.
is a beautiful time
Um,
capsule
yeah.
of web design.
But yeah, I like those. I like busts, and I think that size is nice. Because they don't take up too much space, but oh, they're good.
So has there been in all of the years now of the George Lucas talk show, the fact that you have become characters in your own right outside
Mm-hmm.
of the meta quality of the
Mm-hmm.
show? Talk of doing toy merchandise of you all? Has anyone approached you, or have you thought about
No, not really. I mean, we've thought about it, we've talked about it, but we never really did anything seriously to make it happen. We probably should have. I think we're beyond that point at this point. You know what I mean? Like that time has come and gone, I think.
I
But
mean, it's not over.
no, but I think if we were going to do it, we would have done it during COVID. During the lockdown era. Um, I would love to. I think it would be fun. I would love to have figures, but I wouldn't want 3 3/4. You got to do 6 inch. So it's like it's one of those. I'm not a 3 3/4 boy anymore.
No, so you need the Black Series figures.
Yeah, give me a Black Series size. Give me even look. Give me a NECA size. If we can have toys that look like this, absolutely, I would.
So what
Uh,
accessories have to come with each of you?
Great question. Let's see. Connor would have probably like Irishman Criterion Blu-ray. He would have what else would he have? Maybe like a bag from Chili's. He'd be wearing the shorts. What other items would he have? I mean, the
he's gonna have
playset.
a damaged and an undamaged original trilogy cassette
Sure.
VHS
Maybe
tape.
his like shitty laptop that he would do it from. The playset would be his parents' porch. Um, yeah. The VHSs are good. Maybe like the inflatable BB-8 or something. Um,
He has
that
to
would
have
be
the
good. What?
poster accessory behind him on the easel.
Yes. I think Griffin would have the pastrami sandwich in the bag that he drops off the side of the house, and then I think just a bunch of smaller Watto merch.
A
But I think
microphone.
that
He needs a microphone with a cord.
sure, okay. And then what do I have? I don't know what I have.
Probably all of their accessories to bring to them.
Sure. I would probably get the plates like the butter boy butter girl plate because you would need to give me stuff,
Yeah,
to make the toy feel worth it. Uh,
a
I would
selection of beverages.
yeah, some beverages like a takeout bag and a pillow. Um,
A kite.
kite. Forgot about the kite. Yeah. I mean, look, the price points are going up here. The more items we give each
I
other,
mean,
the
this
price
sounds
points
more
go up.
NECA than
Sure.
this
Yeah.
is not a Hasbro figure. This is now moving
Yes.
into, or this is the deluxe.
Uh-huh.
This should be
Uh
the convention
no,
exclusive.
yeah, and we would be ultimates. They would have to be the ultimate figures. They would need to be um the proper size, the proper scale, or else it's not even worth doing.
Would you like your figure released in color or black and white?
I mean, that's a great question. Man, I mean, I think it has to be color, but as much as I would love a black and white one,
Because the black and white one you could put with the other black and white figures,
I know, and I could play with the monsters.
and you'd also have the same hands, so you could stack.
Really?
They could put you on the Talbot body, right? Just put your head on
Sure.
there.
I would love to have Talbot's body. Look at that little butt. I'd love to have that little butt.
Look at that.
Yeah, no, I wish my legs were that skinny.
NECA could do that
Uh,
for you.
okay. All right.
NECA,
Talk to him.
Mr.
Are you
NECA,
listening, NECA?
if you're watching,
Yeah. Please
make
get
this
back
happen.
to us. Yeah. I would love it.
What is that? What besides T-shirts and posters? What merch have you done over the years? Has there been any other merch besides that?
We had pins. Some a girl, Pretty Okay Pins was the company. They put out some. We had posters, shirts. I don't know what else we did. Poster shirts, pins, stickers. I mean, you can buy a lot of stuff. Let's see what you can buy on. You go to threadless.glts.com, I think. Let's see. Oh no, it must be glts.threadless.com.
Oh, how many takedown notices has that account gotten over the years?
No. Not many. We had the one for the Grow Gizmo stuff. Warner Brothers came after us. Okay, you can buy t-shirts, V-necks. I mean, let's just consider clothes out of the question. But you can get, come on,
Mugs? Have you
fine.
done mugs yet?
You could do fine art prints, stretched canvases, tapestries, rugs, throw pillows, blankets, duvets, bath mats, shower curtains, mounted aluminum print, mounted acrylic print.
Masks?
You could do face masks. You could do mouse pads, jigsaw puzzles, stickers, mugs, bags, magnets, notebooks, zip pouches, skateboards, buttons, phone cases, greeting cards, beach towel, face mask, neck gaiter, and yoga mats.
I mean,
We had hats for a little while
of
too.
all of those,
Yeah.
you just need to do the yoga mats. I think you should just.
I look, I think shower curtains or duvet covers, I think are the two that I would recommend to
I
people.
think there needs to be the three of you on someone's shower curtain.
We made one. There's you can buy here that's just the Star Wars Detours logo, and I like the idea of someone just buying a shower curtain with the Star Wars Detours logo on it. I think that's very funny.
It's just Bobby Moynihan. It's in the guest bathroom right now,
Yep. I mean that tracks. That sounds like him.
along with all of the figures that he's had commissioned of his own characters.
And he's right to do so. You know?
Hey, I mean, if you have that ability to do so and it brings you joy,
Yeah.
by all means, and you've played those characters,
Yeah.
so happy to see the joy in his face that he's getting that Jedi Bob Lego
I know.
minifigure.
It's very excited to see it. From the stuff I have seen from it, I think it's going to be very good and very funny.
Well, that stuff has been so far.
Yeah, well, just you wait. Just you wait.
Just what am I waiting for?
For that new show to come out, it's going to be real good.
Listen, I fully trust it to be good.
Yeah.
But Bobby don't pick no losers.
Bobby don't pick no losers. There you go.
Speaking of, the show that you're doing regularly with Bobby now, how's that going?
ASSSCAT?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. He does it like twice a month or so usually. Every
And that's been a
Sunday at
year now?
these.
Over a year you've been doing that?
It's about to be a year. September it'll be a year.
Big anniversary
Um,
show coming up?
no. No. It'll just happen.
Are you over
I mean, this is
anniversary
my
shows? You
I'm not over anniversary shows, but this is my what is it? Is it 2024 this year, right?
Yes.
In October, it'll be 10 years of me booking that show, minus the parts for the pandemic. So it's like it's been a while because I did it in New York for a long time
How does it
beforehand.
feel to move into veteran status on all these things?
I mean, tell everyone else that. Tell everyone else that I'm the veteran.
I don't have to.
Okay.
They know. They know.
Um
The thing is,
uh
I was just having this conversation with someone
uh-huh.
who was asking about live shows. We were talking about live shows
Sure.
and the very specific skill that it takes to book out and run those things.
Yeah.
And I brought up your name as one of the
Mhm.
people that I say know how to do it and do it well and
Very
have that
nice.
skill set.
Thank you.
I showed them your
It's
work and they said hard pass, but still,
Oh, I get it. I mean, that also
I
tracks. That
still
sounds like
recommended. I still
sure.
recommended it, and that that's no fault on you. You put the show in,
No.
you got it going.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
just
your,
have they have bad taste.
it's not your problem that on the other side of things and the talent and
Yeah,
on display that was not quite up to the production.
they don't want it. They
No,
don't want. I get it. I
no.
get it. I'm not mad about it. It's it's a lot and it's stressful and there's always so many plates to keep spinning in your head and I don't know. I have a good time doing it, but it's nice that I just get to book who I want on there and who I want to hang out with and who I want to meet, and that's kind of the ideal version of a show where if you're having a good time and you get to hang out with who you want to hang out with, like you're just seeing friends. It's just an excuse for people to be friends with me, you know?
Believe you me,
Yeah.
I know exactly
Yeah, that's great.
that reason for doing it, because otherwise you're not going to stay engaged and be happy yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I've also seen what you can do under pressure, and
Sure.
as someone who knows the other side of it, I've
Uh-huh.
said this to you before, and I'll say it again for anyone just seeing this for the first time, is that seeing what the George Lucas talk show evolved into. The one good thing about the documentary is to sort of see it go off that cliff that the rest of the world went off of at that
Mm-hmm.
time,
Mm-hmm.
and how it was reinvented for that lockdown period
Sure.
and became the same but different version of itself. in a much bigger and better way than it had ever been intentioned or conceived of originally.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was in a weird way, COVID was very good for us, you know? And I don't say that lightly, but it's just like it worked out and it helped us because we were able to, go for a much bigger audience and go for a much different crowd than would have just seen it in New York. So
Yeah, it
very
went from a
lucky
local
and
lark.
yes, yes, to an international phenomenon.
Which it certainly seems by the arc of how that was documented within the documentary.
Yeah.
That never would have happened with the show if not for that. Like there was no bigger
No.
aspirations
Yeah,
than
no.
it being this nice fun
Yes.
thing to put on in New York.
I would be surprised if COVID had not happened if that show would still be going on. I don't think it would have. I think it would have stopped at some point. So it did, not that we're doing it as often as we were before, but I think, just having the opportunity to do it like that and now do it in a way where we just do it whenever we want to was very helpful. And, you know, it's thank God that that happened because we like doing it still.
And it dragged you on camera.
And it dragged me on camera whether I liked it or not, whether I was happy about that or not.
What an incredible arc for your character
Yes.
through that
Yes.
show.
God.
As soon as you shaved your head, what do we do?
I mean, I miss it. I would love to shave it again. I
Well,
can't.
you can't, or it needs a show reason.
Uh, I don't know if I would do it now that we're back out into the world. Not, I mean, I wear hats all the time, so it doesn't really matter. But I feel like having that excuse of I'm locked up, I can't do anything, gives you a good excuse to go a little wild and change up your look a little bit.
Speaking of things you collect,
Mm-hmm.
hats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We only have
Mm-hmm.
2 slots left, so I don't know if that features in.
Mm.
We're going to save this
Mm-mm.
conversation for. Well,
We only have one slot left.
No, we just did the New Zealand.
We did Wolfman.
Yeah,
We did Alf.
We did Alf,
We
Wolfman,
did
the Lost production
Lost.
sketch, and New Zealand.
I thought you said there was 5.
No, 6.
Oh well, I better find a 6th thing then.
You got a hat?
I've got something right. I've got something. Let me think of what I could grab.
You're
Hang
getting
on.
my shows confused. That's Force 5.
I am.
This
I
is
know.
just
I know.
a few
I know.
things. There are
I know.
6.
I know. Okay. Well, I've got the 5th thing.
Makes
Let me
it
find the
different
6th
and
thing.
better.
Okay. I think I've got some. I think
Okay.
I've got some.
Okay, so this is your 5th item out of 6th.
Yep. And this is a brand new item. This was just released. This is from Regal Robot. This is the Jar Jar Binks concept maquette that just came out.
Just got that in.
I did. I just got this in a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. He's beautiful. He looks great.
The
Colors
eyes follow
are amazing
you
on
even
him.
from behind.
The eyes follow you. Yep. He
Is that
looks
the
great.
signed edition?
Yes. It's over there. Tony McVeigh was the sculptor. But he's great. He looks great. I like Regal Robot a lot. They're very expensive, but I like them a lot. I have the Jabba one. I have Bib Fortuna, which I also just got, and I have Jar Jar.
No, butt cheek, Max Rebo.
No butt cheek Max Rebo. I assume at some point I will get butt cheek Max Rebo, but I need to, they're expensive.
Yeah.
You gotta work with what you got at some point. Yeah, but it's
Shout out to Regal Robot.
we love him.
You know what? Why don't you just send a Max Rebo to Patrick?
Yeah.
That'd be swell, right?
It would be swell. It would be swell. I would love it.
Be a bunch of swells, Regal Robot. You know he'd
Yes.
love it, and he'd talk about it on things that he does, like just now.
I would have. I'm not gonna now. I'll talk about Jar Jar. Jar Jar looks great. But look, you don't get a ton of Jar Jar merch in 2024, so you sort of got to take what you can get when you get it.
Are you getting that? Was it Mafex is coming out with? They're
So
super articulated.
It's so expensive, and I have the Black Series, and I think
Good
the
enough.
Black Series is pretty good. I don't know if I need another one that looks exactly like it and I think is the same scale.
It doesn't have a swappable tongue, though.
So do I.
Fair enough.
Okay, let me go look for this sixth thing. Hang on one second.
I'm really looking forward to this. It's a huge build-up. Nothing like an in-the-moment grab of an item to bring out where his true feelings and emotions lie. Anticipation is building. Get ready, everyone on tenterhooks. It'll be so amazing. It's going to blow you away. It's going to blow
Okay,
you
this is
away.
pretty good. This is pretty good. I just got this. This was not what I was going to grab, but it's pretty good. There was a Julian's Auctions had an auction a couple weeks ago, and one of the things in it was storyboards and production sketches from the Muppets Take Manhattan. And I got the production sketch of the man driving the chicken boat in the Gonzo scene, and it's original. It's great. It's a pencil sketch. I love them.
Who's the
And
artist on the
great question. Is it
sketch?
John Davis? Is that his name? I think it's John Davis. Hang on one second. Um, yeah, it's John Davis, who was a production designer and storyboard artist for a ton of stuff. A lot of Frank Oz stuff. Let me go back
Was
and
that an estate sale that came from, or is he still
no,
alive?
he's still alive and he was selling all the stuff, but he did Muppets Take Manhattan, Bronx Tale, Last Dragon, Indian in the Cupboard, Meet Joe Black, Runaway Bride, Meet the Parents, Zoolander, Analyze That, Manchurian Candidate, Village, Producers, Departed, like a ton of cool stuff. Um, and
Can you get the moment of impact scene from Meet Joe Black? Is that in
I
his
wonder I wonder if
offerings?
that's yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Uh but I like this. I wanted a storyboard and they were going for they lowered the rate on some things and this was one of the things that they lowered the starting bid for, so I went for that.
So, is there any bit of Muppet ephemera that has been elusive that you would still want production side of things that you've
I
seen
want
that's come up? That's
I want that damn jacket. I want that damn scooter jacket. That I've seen a few, but they always go for a ton. Um
how have you not just had that commissioned and just
No, it's different. I want the original. I mean, I did find this. This should have been. This is good. Facebook Marketplace, maybe 6 months ago, I see this, and it is a Muppet movie belt buckle. Okay.
right?
On the back, it says, well, you can't really see it, but it says, with many thanks, Isidore Matovsky, who's the cinematographer for the Muppet movie. This was a wrap gift that they gave out at the Muppet movie.
I love
Okay.
how 70s
It's so
that a
70s.
wrap gift is a belt buckle.
Yes. And it showed up on Facebook Marketplace in Palm Desert, California, which is just outside Palm Springs. And I got this. This woman was trying to sell it for like $500, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'll give you like $100, and I'm the person that this is going to go to. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to sell this to someone, it's going to be me. No one else is going to spend $500 on this. So I drive out there. I realized before I drive out that James Frawley, the director of the Muppet movie, died in Palm Desert, California. Okay.
Right.
I get there and I'm like, how did you get this? Where did this come from? I went to an estate sale and it was just on a belt. And I don't think they realized that it was on this belt. So I grabbed a whole pile of belts, got this for like $5. And I was like, okay, so you're making pure profit on this. It feels like it has to have been James Frawley's belt buckle, you know? the odds of someone else who worked on that movie also living in Palm Desert, California, feel fairly low.
Does he have
Uh,
any family members who could authenticate it?
no, I don't know. I don't know. But then but then it turns into something where they're like, I want that back. And then I'm like,
Finders
I don't know.
keepers
Finders
is
keepers. There's a Muppet Wiki page for this for like rap gifts, so like it is the legit movie rap gift thing. It's also like old and it's becoming oxidized and stuff, and I need to get it cleaned. But
I don't know. It looks nice with that green patina
it
too.
does.
I
It's
mean, it's
got the little,
fitting.
yeah, yeah.
I
But I
mean,
would
if
love to.
anything, you're going to leave a green patina on,
Sure, I get it.
and
So
that
that
also
that
is now
was
almost 50 years old.
totally, yeah. Trying to think of other Muppet stuff that I would want. I don't
Now you're
know.
going
I
to get
mean,
all the wrap gifts for all the Muppet films.
there's not a ton, at least on Muppet Wiki. Um, there's only a few. I'm trying to see what the other stuff was. But I mean, the Muppet movie is like that's my favorite one. So like, that's the one I really, really
I mean, that's a hell of
care
a
about.
thing to find,
It
regardless.
was just a weird find, and I drove 2 hours each way for it, and
Unless into the bouncy castle guy, if you get
sure,
an offer that's reasonable, you take it
yeah, yeah, and he doesn't care.
because your
He's not
bouncy
responding.
castles aren't moving.
Yeah,
They're still
I
there.
don't know. I know.
And your
Um,
waxworks, your awful waxworks,
yeah.
they're
Okay, so
fine.
they did a Muppet Show belt buckle. They did a Dark Crystal belt buckle and a Muppet movie belt buckle.
So belt buckles was the go-to thing for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, according to Muppet Wiki. I saw a friend of mine sent me a photo. He was behind a guy in line here somewhere who had a Muppet Treasure Island leather jacket, that's pretty, I like that. And I guess he talked to the guy and he was the DP on that movie.
I
Um,
have the Muppets from Space varsity
mhm.
jacket.
Oh, I've seen that. That pops up every so often.
What
I have
was
a lot
nice
of,
about that was
yeah,
me just hanging around on set, and they were putting
sure,
the order in,
sure,
and they just said, "Oh, what size are you?
great.
Take it,
Yeah,
done." So out of that
yeah.
production, I got a cereal box. I
Uh
got
huh.
a couple of burnt Rizzo cards from the
Uh
poker
huh.
scene.
Uh huh.
I
Uh
got some
huh.
storyboards.
That's great.
I got a jacket. What else did I get?
And speaking of wills, you know who those are all being left to.
Connor.
I don't even think he likes that movie.
Doesn't. I haven't really been able to determine exactly what Connor likes.
Me
Just
either. Me either.
or would get excited about, I should say,
I
in that
like
kind
that
of way.
movie. I rank Muppets from Space higher than a lot of people, I think.
What's weird about having been on set
Hmm.
is how defanged the film
Sure.
became in its final cut.
Sure.
It really was sort of diminished
Sure.
by Sony's attempt to make it a junior children's film
Sure.
than what was there. And you could see the process of just by the light going out in the performer's eyes of it being defanged as
Sure.
it went. But I got to have those experiences of
Of
being on
course.
set, and I
Of
got a free
course.
haircut, which was
What more could you ask
nice.
for?
Right after F. Murray Abraham left the chair to
Uh-huh.
go film his scenes
As Noah?
as Noah,
Uh-huh.
I got my hair cut, and they
Wow.
just assumed I was part of the staff. First and only
Sure.
time I've gotten a razor blade haircut, and it was probably the best haircut I ever had in my life.
Also, he didn't need a haircut. He had a wig on and a fake beard.
Listen, they didn't even ask what scene I was with. They just all I said was
Very funny.
they said I should just come over and get a haircut, so I'm
It was
over
very,
here.
very funny. Well, good for you. It all worked out.
It all worked out, and I got to
Yeah.
hang out, with Frank Oz and
Hang on. F. Murray Abraham was also in a TV miniseries called Noah's Ark in 1999.
Right after. Oh, so at the same time he was filming it.
Same year.
So 98 for a 99 release. 98 into
Yeah,
99 for.
yeah.
Why do you
That's
think he felt
weird.
typecast at that time? Now, was that also for Sony?
I don't know. Number
Or
one IMDb trivia: F. Murray Abraham, who played a supporting role, played Noah in Muppets from Space. User review: This was an incredibly stupid waste of time. John Voight is much more exciting in Deliverance. Wow.
interesting
He's the star of
comparison.
this. This came out May 2nd, 1999. Isn't that about when Muppets from Space came out?
I think it was June release for Muppets from Space, right? But yeah, so
Ah, let's
thereabouts.
see. Yeah, July 14th. That's
Yeah.
wild.
They wrapped filming middle of February for Muppets from Space.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty quick turnaround for
Quick
in the
turnaround, yeah.
theaters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy.
the and they filmed those back to back, Elmo and Grouchland and Muppets
Mm-hmm.
from Space.
Same city.
And they learned the valuable lesson: don't film a Muppet film in the South at the height of summer. It's
Mm-hmm.
not comfortable at
Mm-hmm.
all. No one's having
Uh,
fun.
for anyone who's gotten this far, if you're interested in this kind of thing, Matt Vogel's podcast Below the Frame just did two or three really good Elmo and Grouchland episodes where he talks to a bunch of the performers from Elmo and Grouchland about their all of their experience on it, and it's very interesting.
Remind me to show
Very good.
you all the behind the scenes footage of Mandy Patinkin
I love it.
from Elmo and Grouchland. We'll
I
we'll
love it.
deal with that later. Well, that'll
I
be
love
just
it.
for Patrick and I.
I love it.
So we to go over your list. We
Yeah.
started with your owl figure,
Yeah.
NECA. Then we had your werewolf figures,
Yes.
which was the combo,
Wolfman.
Wolfman. Then we got the Lost production art.
Yes.
We had the New Zealand bust from Sideshow Collectibles in, gosh, that was 2002?
Yeah.
2003, around the time that Playmates was also putting out their Muppet Show figures. The last gasp of Henson Company owned merchandising for the Muppets. The Regal Robot Jar Jar. And then our last minute edition
Yeah.
at the very end,
Yeah.
the Muppet Belt buckle from the Muppet movie, which is a great piece.
Yeah.
So, what to your mind connects all of these items? Is there any through line you can see and why these are so important to you?
I mean, the through line is me, you know? It's just my weird brain that decided it liked things at age 4 and then never. I guess Lost. All right, so Lost would make it age 12, hypothetically. And then it just really hasn't changed since then. And I still like the things I liked when I was a kid. Is there a through line, though? I don't know. I mean, uh,
What would be the
tactile.
last of those objects you would get rid of?
Ooh, that's a great question. The last of the objects I would get rid of, probably the Lost uh, production sketch, just because I think it's the coolest for me. And that show is such a weirdly large part of my, pop culture enjoyment. Yeah, that would probably be the last one. What would be the first one? Great question. I'm glad you asked. Um, maybe, man, I don't know. If someone came to me, how much is someone offering me? You
20
know,
bucks.
$20. Okay. I'm gonna say the Larry Talbot Wolfman because I could probably
Sorry,
rebuy it.
they're a combined, so Talbot
They're combined.
has to go with
Then
Wolfman. You can't
okay,
just,
then I guess it's Alf.
and that's why you can't have Paul Flusco on your show. That's why he will not appear. He
I
knew that
hope he
you would
sees
choose
this.
him to go first.
I hope he sees this.
Oh, he's got a Google alert.
Sorry, Paul. Put his name in the title.
He was getting ready to write you back, going, "I
Uh,
would love to be on the show. Thank you
I
for
know it's been
mentioning."
4 years. Yeah.
I just wasn't available at the time. I was trying to
Mhm.
get a new show launched.
Mhm.
It's a whole thing.
Uh-huh.
I've been
Oh
training.
well.
I've been training Alf too.
Oh well. I'm sorry, Paul.
It's okay. You'll get them. They'll be desperate again. They always are.
Sure. I get it. I get
Uh,
it.
so what else is coming up for you? What are the big things? I talked a little bit when you stepped away. You have another live reading of
Yeah.
a Star Wars film coming up in the immediate future.
When does this go up?
This will be up before you have that on August 10th,
Okay.
2024, so they can get live stream tickets. The
Yep.
in-person sold out. No
Yes. You're
surprise.
talking about this is a live reading of the Attack of the Clones script. It's a all-star cast. Haley Joel Osment, Bobby Moynihan, Lorraine Newman, Jess McKenna, Deborah Wilson, Seth Green, like a really insane,
Hal
insane group
Lublin,
of people. Hal Lublin, of course, Mark McConville, Matt Gorley, Daniel Logan reprising his role as Boba Fett, Vivian Lyra Blair from the Kenobi show. I don't know. There's so many people there, but it's going to be wild and it's going to be very fun. It's at Dynasty Typewriter. Live stream tickets still available. You can go to CaminoCaper.com and get those. You can also watch the Naboo movie, which was our Phantom Menace live read at NabooMovie.com. That one's free up on YouTube right now, and you could see it there. George Lucas Talk Show's on YouTube. Just find a guest that you like and then dig in from that if you have never seen it before. I'm George Lucas, A Connor Ratliff Story is a documentary about the show and about Connor. That's at I'mGeorgeLucas.com. You can watch that now on VOD, and it's also coming to more places on August 20th. So you'll be able to watch it on Apple and Amazon and all those other things then. Twitter at Patrick Cotnoir, Instagram at Cotnoir, PatrickCotnoir.com. There's a lot of stuff going on. You'll find it all there.
yeah, you're on Blue Sky. You're on all the
I'm on
places.
Blue Sky. I'm on Threads. I'm on uh,
You're
uh,
everywhere you want people to find you.
what was that other one? It was Blue Sky Threads. There was it was like
Spoutable, you unspoutable.
no, I'm not on Spoutable. Halo? No, not Halo. What
There was
was
one that
that
had to
other
do with bees. What was the bee one?
Hoopla? What's Hoopla? I don't know. I'm looking at my. I can't remember what that other one was called. Hive. It was called
Oh,
Hive.
oh yeah. Oh, that
I'm
was yeah.
I'm
That
on
was. I knew there was a bee one.
I'm on Hive.
When was the
Yeah,
last time you posted on Hive?
it had to have been mid last year. Um.
Oh, social media is so much fun now.
uh,
It's so good. Are
yeah.
there is there anything scheduled as far as return for George Lucas Talk Show at this point? Do we know when the
We'll
next?
be at New York Comic Con, and we'll have a New York show that week as well. We will probably also have a tri-state area show before the end of the year, ideally in November. Currently locking down something very weird and cool there, but
That'll be the
it's
big
not good.
Life Day show for this year.
That will not be the Life Day show. There will also be Life Day stuff later on in the year. Ideally a live show and a live stream, but we'll see what I can gather up
You
people
know,
for.
I miss the live streams.
I
Even if they were a quarterly thing, it'd be
would love to.
swell if they came
I
back.
would love to do more live streams. I don't.
What's
I
great
don't
is
know if you'll
you're
ever get
so
a.
good at wrangling
Yeah,
those particular talents.
I would love to get more live streams on the book. I think you will probably get more Connor and Patrick live streams. I don't know if you or George and Patrick live streams. I don't know if you'll get the three,
Connor's
but
never appeared on a live stream, has he?
I think we called him at one point. I believe we called Connor while George was not there.
That's for the George Lucas Talk Show wiki, right? Do we can we look that
Yeah,
up?
they
That
can find
exists,
that.
right? Is
It's
that
somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's in
how many
various
times
levels of
has Connor
completion.
appeared on the George Lucas Talk
Yeah,
Show?
yeah, yeah,
How many
yeah.
times has Griffin appeared on the George Lucas Talk Show? More
Two
or
or
less
three.
times?
We never in person, never like physically. In the post COVID lockdown era, but we've called him a few times. So it's happened.
So if you
It's
were to get to do a
yeah.
character that wasn't
Ugh,
Patrick,
no interest.
none,
None.
none at
Not
all.
my thing. Not my thing. I wish. Wish it was
Which
my thing.
which Muppet would you like to be if you were a Muppet on the
Um maybe like a maybe like a Julius Strange pork. You know? He's a good guy. He's
Is
a good
he?
guy.
Is he a good
Yeah,
guy?
he's a good guy. Except for
Uh,
the fat shaming's a little weird for Piggy, but apart
and
from that,
and really really baked in to every
yeah,
interaction. Like he's
yeah, pretty baked
Link
in.
is not as bad as Strange
No,
Fork
but they're
is.
both not great. They're both not great. I just like his vibe, you know. I'm also going to be real with you. I turned around and looked at him, and he was there. So that was maybe like a salmonella. I like Sal.
You got to show that Sal love. Everyone go back and
Look,
watch some Muppets tonight.
give me that damn Palisades figure, you freaking cowards. Give me him.
Well, you were at San Diego, right? You went
I
down.
did.
So what did have they announced what the scale is for the NECA figures? Are they
Yeah,
comparable
baby, they're in scale with
with the
Palisades.
okay. That's all we needed.
They rule. They look great. I'm all in.
I was concerned, but I was hopeful that they would do the thing they needed to do, which was
They're they are in scale. They look just like the Palisades ones.
so there's still
They
a
will be
chance.
fantastic.
It's a
Yeah.
good thing that Disney is so easy to work with when it comes to licensing.
Uh-huh. I mean,
And they love the Muppets as a franchise so much that
it
they
would be
want to put it
amazing
out
if
there.
they
Picked up the
re-up that
line.
line.
It's
I don't
sad
know.
that we got
Yeah,
that line ending just as they finally got the movie licenses
I know.
to start rolling out.
I know. I would love the van. Give me the Electric Mayhem bus. You know,
Give me
there's
Gonzo's
a few
plumber
things.
truck.
Of course, there's a few things that I want that I don't think we'll ever get, but it would be nice. There's Kenny Durkin. You know Kenny Durkin?
I do.
Kenny Durkin currently 3D printing some cool ones that are very tempting. He made a
I
fog.
The one beautiful thing as a Muppet movie fan, well, but besides all the people
Yeah,
of being on that Muppets from Space set is that they found the original Electric Mayhem bus
yeah,
and being able to walk onto that and know that that's what that was.
yeah. And then they lost it again, and it burned down. So,
Ridiculous.
oh well.
I did feel bad that they attempted to their way of contemporizing it instead of just leaving it like it was just replace
Yeah,
all the 45s with CDs. That went
sure.
a little too far.
Sure.
But Patrick, thank you for being on the
Yes.
show and
Thank you for having me.
sharing your six things. One of
I
which
love it.
was clearly the most emotional because you chose it in the moment and you made that value decision
Mhm.
right there and then. And I appreciate
Mhm.
always you coming on the shows and just
Happy to
having a
help.
conversation.
Yeah,
Because for anyone watching this, Patrick's a swell guy. He's super
that's true.
talented. He does
Yeah, that's a good
amazingly
point.
fun things.
Yeah, this is all true.
He has a great collection of
Uh
things,
huh.
as you've seen.
Uh-huh.
He is kind,
Yeah.
compassionate.
Huh.
He is a beautiful follow on all the
Thank
social
you.
medias, posting things all of the time about stuff.
Yeah, things and stuff.
Go check out all of those things and
Hmm.
support him because he has a habit and he needs to continue to buy all these
It's
things
true. Please.
that strike his fancy. You
I'm running out
understand
of space.
how much we need this. And I also need to know, please write in, leave comments,
Uh huh.
contact us both, and let us know how much you need the wax van trip to let us go
Yeah.
around
Happy to go.
saving these wax figures
Yes.
and filling that van.
Yes.
That's going to be our project.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, wishing it into existence. Thank you all for watching. Just a few things. If you like this, please like and subscribe here on YouTube. All those things that you can do on Patreon, patreon.com/Ken Plume. If you want to support it at even the dollar level, you get access to all of my digital exclusives. There's a ton of interviews and panels and quiz shows and stuff with a lot of swell people. People like Patrick that's on there. So thank you all and bye everybody.